still made mistakes back then. I've made mistakes my whole life, and that I regret and make me sad just thinking about it. You can hear it in my voice. And I'm trying to help myself, get out of the pain of having made some poor choices and, destroying relationships and not feeding the ones I love, so to speak. That's a devastating pain for me to even consider. In fact, my relationship with God, the way I perceive it, is like so real and at the level where there's no BS, that sometimes when I'm in so much pain, I have to kind of, just for myself, I have to forget God. I know that doesn't make sense, but it's like, how much crying can you really, how much pain do you really want to get in touch with? I guess is what I'm saying. And that's what I'm saying. And relating to God, you have to just be honest. You can't be like acting. It's just ridiculous. If you're trying to better yourself and communicate with the Creator and at the level of like extreme moral values, I know some of you have trouble with that concept, but just, the beauty of life, the love of life, the devotion to others, and you're not able to do that because you're going through some pain of being rejected or hurt, then for myself, I haven't been able to really face God too much in that, because it's too painful. God, this is my estimation, he's like forcing me to look at my situation. Well, I don't want to look at my situation. This is too painful. So you've got to get into a place where you really want to face facts. And I'm not saying I'm living in a delusion by just ignoring God. That's horrible. But I've sort of, just to be honest with you, I've sort of done it, time to time, day after, day to day, just because the reminder of the pain in my life is just too intense. I can't even think on it. So from there, I've kind of like now moved into like this new phase where I'm learning to identify myself in a way that's just me and God, so to speak. So I'm going through like a very personal thing right now. The public aspect of my persona isn't even, it's related to it, but it's not super important. What's super important to me is me feeling at peace to who I am in the core of my being, with the choices that I make, the way I live my life, and maintain a communication with God that to me is fluid and supportive of my expression. Now, I know a lot of people have trouble with this kind of concept because they think, if you're expressing yourself, where would there be any immorality if you're just, expressing yourself freely? I think, again, there's a need for balance there. I know I'm kind of wandering here. My point is, you can't just do whatever you want and say it's moral, right? I want to kill you. That's okay, I did what I wanted. That's all you got to do is do what you want. Do what you feel. Live yourself. Well, I want to kill you. So see what I'm saying? And I use that as an example because it's so obvious that that's not right. See? It's not right. Moral absolutes. Come on, people. This whole thing of like moral relativism is just ridiculous. Is there anybody in the world thinks it's okay to kill another human being? In a certain situation, you can defend yourself, and if the only way of defending yourself is killing the other one, okay, I guess, all right, you're twisting my arm on that one. But I mean, I think we can all agree on that. Killing, not good. But where does that come from? Why is that not good? I personally believe it's in the nature of God that the world was created to reflect His beauty. And when I say His, I don't mean His. It's just, I got to use a pronoun, okay? Because I do believe we were created. I mean, to me, it's like unthinkable. Like something like what we experience would just be like a random event. Like, oh yeah, just by the way, yeah, there you have the planet Earth and all those human beings and all their planning and scheming and falling in love and creating inventions and magnificent thoughts and just stages of creative development that have gone on through the history of mankind. Yeah, that was just a random thing. It just kind of like occurred. I just can't, intellectually to me, I just find that one to be hard to swallow. But now I'm really getting off track. I'm out in the universe. There's Mars, Jupiter. Okay, let's get back. Okay. So what I'm saying is there are moral absolutes, and I think part of that is in learning a balance between you expressing yourself. Yes, we want you to know who you are and feel free to express that and do it in a way that it adds to the communal need of expression and development. And killing doesn't fit in that. So that's why killing bad. But just the idea, I guess, well, what I'm trying to get at here, the idea that you can just, act on your desires and there shouldn't be any issue because you are who you are and you should be able to act on your desires. I just think that's ridiculous. And I could use other examples that are a little bit more inappropriate, but we won't go there. Killing was just so much more appropriate as an example. So there are these moral absolutes, I think, that are universal, and if we focused on those more than the differences we have with each other, then we could have a safe environment to then explore the differences, and if there's an opportunity for any change in belief or practice based on this resulting relationship and dialogue that has occurred because we developed a foundation of common interest. And I think that is where, I'm just going to say all relationships fall apart. If they fall apart, that's where they fall apart. There's no value placed on the commonality. There's a overbalanced focus on difference. This might not sound profound to you, but I think it is. If you can say something that can apply to everybody, I'd say that's profound. And that's why I thank you for all of your gifts and your monies. And I'm glad you are continuing to support my program. You know, I think one of the I'm going to go off into my randomness now, not that I wasn't for the last 50 minutes, but I've said this before, but I've always thought it very curious that here it is, I've devoted 11 years to doing this show, and I think only once a pastor contacted me.